Hi everyone, welcome to Limeliting, where I'm going to shine the spotlight on awesome things, places, and people for all to enjoy. I have the honored pleasure of having a person that when I got into board games, this person was very influential for me. Their content was one of the first I ever saw on the Dice Tower and Board Game Breakfast and Favorite Fridays. I started watching their content for Kickstarter previews and how to learn how to play these games and just see if I wanted something like this. With me today is Mark Burke, otherwise known as the Chubby Meeple.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
to be here. Let's party.
Yeah, bro.
I'm looking forward to this.
Let's do this.
Kicking this off, chatting with you a little bit, playing a game while we do.
Yeah.
I like it.
So in Limelighting, what I want to do is I want to show off places that you can go to have a good time, enjoy yourself, be with friends and family. But also I want to show off the people who help us in the board game industry specifically. So my first guest, Mark, is going to show us off. Now today we're here at Moonshot Games. It's up in Noblesville, about 20 minutes north of Indy.
Yeah, 25 or so.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I'll have B-roll. It's probably playing right now. Isn't it nice?
I like it.
And today's game, I thought also show off places, show off people, but why not also play a board game? So we're playing War Chest, which is a game that you and I first played. We love it.
Yep.
AEG, please make an expansion for this.
You actually taught me this game.
I did. Thank
Yes.
God you just taught me this game back. If you want to see a how-to play of this video, I will have a link in the description below for Rodney Smith, which is Watch It Played, and you can watch his. And if you want your reviews, I'll have some reviews from Dice Tower and other people. So yeah.
Awesome. So I've got this beautiful little initiative marker over here.
Yeah, I guess you're going first.
I guess I am. I guess I should probably draw my hand of 3.
Yeah. You've got, what, over 50 videos on
Yeah.
YouTube, and you have, it's like clink and clank, and you've got probably 25, 30 different videos that are segments and...
Yeah, like some of the video contributions and some of the just being a contributor to the segments like Favorite Game Friday. I think there's probably a half dozen or so solo review videos that I actually did for the Dice Tower, but I've contributed to quite a bit of stuff as far as Favorite Game Friday, the Throat Punch Lunch, back when it was Throat Punch Lunch. I did a couple Board Game Blender segments, so it's been a lot of fun.
Before we get into how you got into the industry, where are you from? What brought you up to even like board games?
We are in Noblesville, which is about a half an hour south of where I grew up. I mean, when I was a kid, we played a lot of stuff. My brothers and I played things like Hero Quest and Battle Masters, and then of course
I'm super jealous because getting in the industry,
Right?
I didn't know about Hero Quest and all these other games.
So good. And, and I mean, of course, like everyone else, I've played Monopoly and Clue and Risk and all the staples, if you will, but it's just, and then, you get a little older, you quit playing that stuff, and then I kind of found my way back to it, right? Like I said, about 2014, 2015, I found my way back in through some coworkers, and it's been, something strong that's been kind of center point of my life since then, and
What
in
got you-
all aspects.
What got you out and then got back? Is it
I got out just because I just got busy with you get to high school, you start doing the part-time job, and you're working all the time, and you're doing extracurriculars for school, and things like I'm a band nerd, and then you get to college, you're super busy in college and working as well, so you just don't have the time for it. Coworkers at work one day were like, "Hey, we do board games," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And they're like, "You can stop by for game night. We're getting together on Saturday." So I got together with them and we played that night.
Yeah, what were the first games you played? Because they weren't the normal, everybody's played Catan,
Yep.
Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride.
No, my intro into the hobby games was the 3 games we played that night were Zombicide, Formula D, and Spectre Ops.
It's ridiculous,
So
man.
we had
It's ridiculous.
Giant Racing Game.
Which Spectre Ops is Plaid Hat.
Yep.
Zombicide, CMON, and Formula D.
Formula D. I don't remember. I actually think it's I think it's that one was published under Asmodee. But yeah, so we had this giant racing game. We had Zombicide, cooperative action adventure, and then we played some hidden movement, one versus many. All for my first intro. So that was an interesting night. I was fascinated by what I saw. Of the 3, Spectre Ops is the one that really blew me away because I've never seen anything like it.
Neither have I.
I mean, the other games, you're rolling dice, and I've done all that. But Spectre Ops is like, man, this is pretty cool.
What's your first play?
My first play. I'm going to simply deploy a footman soldier dude right there.
Okay. I'm gonna place this bad boy out here.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, the mercenary.
Well, I'm going to discard this coin face down so that I can recruit one of these awesome footman soldiers into my ranks.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to discard so that I can recruit, so that I can move.
Whoa.
Thanks.
That's fair. That's very scary. I'm just going to deploy this dude down. We're going to get another dude out here and put the Lancer down. So he'll be able to move 1 or 2 spaces and then attack, all in a straight line. So he just charges forward and stabs you.
I'm dropping my Berserker.
Ooh, the Berserker. Got to watch out for that one. Love that sound.
Disc game, tactile sound.
I adore this game. I don't say I adore things very often, but I adore this game.
Top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah. This
I can see that.
One of my all-time favorite games.
It's tactical. There's a lot of tactical strategy to it. Very little luck. I mean, yeah, you're pulling chips out of a bag, but you have some control over what you're recruiting, so you can kind of do a little bit of the bag building, which I love. And ultra replayable with all the units. I mean, there's 16 units in this box. We're using 8 of them, so we're only using half of what's in the box.
Right, and you're using 4. I'm using 4.
And the combinations are endless.
The 2v2, where
Oh,
you have 3 units.
Your partner's got 3. Yeah, that's so solid.
What was the first video you ever recorded?
Well, the first one I recorded for my channel when I first started the channel was an unboxing video of a game called Raving Spire, which is this big, not a lot of people have heard about this big sprawling like adventure game with like a rotating tower in the middle of the board. It's pretty wild. Literally unboxed it because when I got the thing, it actually, the box itself opens up like a giant book. So I'm like, this is kind of cool. I want to get this on camera. And did that. I'd filmed some other stuff before, contributing segments to a group called the Insta Gamers Network, which is a bunch of board gamers that met through Instagram. And they did a bi-weekly YouTube video. You film a video that matches the theme for 5 minutes or so, and then someone in the group edited it together and made like a 30-minute thing out of it every 2 weeks and threw it up on YouTube. And so that's what kind of got me the bug. And that started literally 2 months after I started writing my blog stuff.
Where did Chubby Meeple come from?
I did. I'm recruiting, by the way.
Oh, are you?
No, I wanted to do. I was
see your stuff, man.
contemplating. Well, in that case, I'll do that too. Yeah. No, I'd contemplated doing some reviews and some Kickstarter previews, just written, kind of written word stuff. And well, that's not good for me.
What are you talking about?
And I didn't say anything. I went with Chubby Meeple ultimately because it was something different, something memorable. If everybody's seen my logo out there,
you have the best logo.
Went in and I took a meeple and made it fat. And it's literally just this chubby little meeple that looks super cool and
green.
Yeah, green, of course, my favorite color. And I'm try to be green if I can, player color wise when I'm playing games. But just ultimately I want to be Chubby Meeple because it was easier to make it my brand than lose the weight, I guess. So, so pretty fun. Yeah, the idea of doing the blog and then trying to figure out how to brand it, and I've heard since I've heard a lot of people say don't put the word meeple in your it's so cliche to use the word meeple or cardboard or any of those like general but
you say that and I've got like 5 names I could probably name
exactly
right now.
Yep, and that's just it. They say that don't put cardboard, don't put meeple, but those are the people you remember. I remember people like Bearded Meeple, Drinking Meeples, Metal Meeple, Cardboard Reality, Cardboard Guys. Like I remember those names.
What'd you do?
I recruited that bad boy.
So I'm going to put that face down so I can recruit that.
That's one of the things I do like about this, because you have your units, and you're right, I can see what you're grabbing off of your cards and what you're putting over there. So even if you're putting them face down, I can kind of count a little bit. They throw that royal coin in there. So if I discard that royal coin face down, which is all that can be done, you don't know if I'm using that coin or if I'm using a unit, which is really cool, because then it makes it even tricky. It's almost impossible to count at that point. I'm going to play that face down, and I think I'm going to recruit. I'm going to do another one of these footmen over here.
Okay. I really liked your idea, so you told me that.
Oh, see, I still get to go first, unless you want to flip that over.
Shut up.
Let's see here.
It's my last 3.
My last 3 as well. I think I know what they are.
And then all those go back in the bag.
I think I know what they are. They're poker chips. That's what they are. All right, let's see here.
So...
Oh, you're going first because you took the initiative.
Yeah, so I'm going to go first. So while I go first, I'm going to ask you the next question. So you got into the game, into the industry, 2015 is when you started.
When I started playing games, I got back into the playing games this 2015.
Was this your first Origins you went to, or your first Gen Con you went to?
Gen Con.
And you had a special deck of cards in your pocket.
Yes.
What is this deck called?
It's a little game called Sneaky Cards. And I say game, it's more a social experiment, social activity.
What's the rules?
It's a deck of cards. You pull one card out of this thing, and you do whatever the card says. Sometimes you're high-fiving a stranger. So literally, I'm walking down the street, I high-five someone, I hand them this card. And you may have to, like, briefly explain to them, you know, when they're looking at you like, what the hell just happened?
What the hell?
You know, you explain to them what it is. Generally, they're receptive to it, hopefully. And you can track it online and things like that to see where it's gone. As long as they've checked it in, and you can scan it with your phone. And
it's got a QR code?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. So you can see kind of where that card's traveled across the world and all that. It's pretty neat. But yeah, had that on my hands. Thought it'd be fun to play at Gen Con with a bunch of strange people. You know, 70,000 people I've never met. Seemed like a good idea.
And this was your first Gen Con?
First Gen Con. First Gen Con.
And you went for one day, or you went for the whole 4 days?
I went for the whole 4 days,
okay.
Which was pretty cool. Take a movement action here.
So you went to go play a game.
I did. Went to play Between Two Cities, Stonemaier Games. Never played it before. It's hard for me to find the players for games that have a minimum of like 3-4 players. And this was one of those that had a minimum of 3 players. I'm like, I'm going to play it at Gen Con, get a feel for it. Funny enough, I had bought the tickets to play, you know, the event ticket to play, and I almost skipped that event.
If I want to move that, I've got to
play a matching face up.
Face up.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, well,
that's
that
what I
too.
need to know.
I love it.
So you went to go play this game.
I was contemplating not going to play said game because of all the event tickets that I bought that day. It was the only event that was not in the convention center. I was, you know, first Gen Con going all 4 days. I, being the brilliant person that I am, decided that I was going to make all my Gen Con purchases day 1. Don't do that. I mean, unless you got the hotness stuff that you have to get day 1 or it's sold out. But I bought everything I wanted that day 1, so I'm carrying bags of stuff.
You know what? You say that, but actually, I still don't mind that because
really?
You get it done and over with. You take it back to the car, and then the rest of the 3.5 days, you're good.
It's free to play games.
Yeah, play games, walk the millions of halls, wear your feet out.
Newness to Gen Con, I hadn't figured this out yet. So I bought all this stuff, carrying bags of stuff around.
You're not supposed to carry it around.
Exhausted. Realize this event is in one of the hotels across the street. I know that now. And I decided, you know, I'm not going to go to this event. I'm going to take that hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever the event was, and just chill. Relax a little. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stop. Just tell your story. It's
doing?
fine. Don't,
all right.
don't pay
I'm
attention.
paying attention. There's that Berserker. I know what you're trying to do. So I decided to go to the event. And I did that.
It's cute.
And so went to this event. Let's reload our bags while I'm telling this story here. Ended up meeting Nick and Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe Games while I was there playing this game. They were just there, ticketed event, wanting to play the same Between Two Cities that I wanted to play. And after the game, we're striking up conversation, obviously, as the game's going on. You're talking to people as you do when you play games. You don't sit there in silence and stare at each other creepily across the table like you and I do.
It's only because I think your eyes are sexy, buddy.
Found out you'd be right. So we was talking to them, found out they had a game, they were designing the stuff, and I was telling them I was kicking around the idea of starting this blog. And we get done with the game.
A blog.
I high five Nick,
Cool.
hand him the sneaky card. He's like, "What'd you just do?" So I explained to him. We exchanged Twitter handles and everything. He's like, he thinks it's the coolest thing. He's laughing. He's like, "I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna throw this on Twitter. I'm gonna tag you, and we'll do all the stuff." And so he hits me up on Twitter the next day and says, "Hey, if you've got time, I'd love it if you sat down and play tested our game with us." And he's got a prototype. Sit down and play it. So I met up with him that day, played it. A little card game called Super Hack Override. I still have the prototype he gave me and the final production copy of it as well.
Why'd you keep the prototype?
It's special at this point. I played the game with him. We got done. We're packing things up, and he reached out and handed me a shrink-wrapped copy of a prototype and said, "Hey, this is just in case you decide to start that blog. We'd love it if you did a preview, snap some photos."
That's cool, man.
And
cool.
So I left Gen Con that day going, I should probably do this blog. And so Nick and Carla, they're Weird Giraffe Games. They're pretty much the catalyst that kicked everything off and made me take that step over the edge into going from considering doing it to actually doing it, because they handed me that prototype. So it's pretty cool.
I also dig my hands. Yeah.
Oh, I don't dig that.
Get out of here.
I don't dig that
You're
at all.
fine, dude. You're gonna move your little horsey and do some things. It's fine.
Yeah, he's got to be all in a straight line, though.
Oh, does he?
I, however, do have the ability to activate my tactic down here. Lets me perform one maneuver with each footman unit that's on the board.
That's cute.
And I can have 2 footman unit on the board because that's their special here.
Yeah.
So let's dive this dude off of here. And we're going to put this one right up here. Mm-hmm. That feels pretty good.
I like that.
Not as much as I do, I bet.
I bet not. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this.
There's that berserker.
I'm gonna do that. What do you think about them apples?
I'm not a fan.
Did I mention I recruited all 5
I'm
berserkers?
well aware all 5 of your berserkers are off the board over there, and that's a little scary.
Just make sure.
I think I'm going to go ahead and deploy this ensign onto the board.
What's the ensign do?
The ensign, his tactic is that I can choose a friendly unit that's within 2 spaces of the ensign, and that chosen unit performs a normal move to a space within 2 spaces of the ensign. So I'm basically giving another unit a free move. If I have another ensign in my hand. Which I might have, you never know.
Put him down.
Oh, I don't... That. And that's your archer that can shoot over units, correct? Because the crossbowman cannot. I get to perform a maneuver
I should have taken
with each of my footmen.
thing.
So we're going to just go here. And with this dude, I guess we're going to do this. And we'll go ahead and control that spot.
That's cute. When did you make your first video? Because that's when I saw you.
Yep. Blog post went up toward the end of August, early September. I did my first YouTube video in October, so a month later. And that came from Instagamers Network. I was snapping photos and, like we all do, snap photos, throw them up on Instagram when the board games were playing. I was doing all that back then too, but met a bunch of cool board gamers through there. And they were doing this Instagamers Network thing that I mentioned earlier, and they reached out and said, "Hey, we've got this channel we do. We've got people who are backing out for the holidays." I don't like that look at all. You can't do that. No.
When the pikeman is attacked by an adjacent unit, remove a coin from that unit.
That's not good.
So you stab me.
I stab you.
I stab you back.
Stabby, stabby.
Hey, how's it going?
That's not going well, actually.
You were telling a story. I'm so sorry.
No worries at all. No worries at all. That was a scary move, and I'm not a fan of it. So they reached out, said, "Hey, we've got contributors to this channel, this YouTube channel that aren't available because it's holiday season and all that fun stuff." And so we're looking for extra contributors, and I said, "Okay, we can do that." I'm gonna use this to make this guy move. His normal move action.
Oh, you're going for it
because he's within 2 spaces, so that's a legal move.
I dig it.
And so I'm like, yeah, I've never done YouTube before. Don't really know what I'm doing. And the response I got was, that's okay. I didn't know what I was doing when I started doing this either.
We don't either.
And so I was like, okay. He's like, it's a quick 5-minute segment. And the he I'm referring to in this case, this is Jeremiah Acevedo. Some people might know him online as the Board Game Renegade. He's the one that invited me into doing this, so it's kind of his fault I got into the YouTube, caught the YouTube bug doing these videos. So you're talking blog started late August, early September. I started doing my first YouTube video in October.
This is still 2015.
Would have been Gen Con 2016. Started the blog September 2016. Started YouTube in October 2016. Well,
Deep hole.
Deep thinking here.
Sometimes it has water in it.
Sometimes.
A well. Bad dad jokes.
Those are my best.
You got me?
Did you know why the half-blind guy fell in a well?
No.
He didn't see that well.
Stupid.
It's so dumb. But I love them. I love dad jokes. But yeah. And I kept the blog going a little bit before. So there was, even after the YouTube stuff started in October, I was still doing Kickstarter previews and things on the blog that I was writing with just photos and written word.
All right. So how do you get to be part of the Dice Tower community and part of that little amazing conglomerate?
Listened to the podcast, the Dice Tower podcast, and heard Tom say, hey, we're looking for video and audio contributors. And so I reached out, said, love to do some audio stuff. And he said, I don't have room for audio stuff anymore. All I've got is video. And so I was like, well, I don't need, I'm like, we'll do something. I'll put together some kind of video. And I had other videos that were gone on my channel at this point as well. Just typical review stuff that I had shot my own. Did some reviews of like Dreamwell from Indie Boards and Cards. And so I sent him a video, one of those things. I actually sent him an old link. And so he's like, hey, video quality's pretty good. Sounds kind of low. And I was like, what? So I went back and watched and realized I sent him the wrong link. So I sent him the right link.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great first impression. Hey, Tom, here's an old link that I don't want you to see. And so he says, here's your Dropbox, link, all that stuff that they do on the back end. And he's like, drop your review there. Keep an eye on this sheet. And you see your thing pop up, put your rating 1 to 10 on there, and then we'll.
How often would you have to check that?
When I would submit something into the Dropbox, whenever I would submit a review in there, I would just keep watching until I saw it pop up, because I knew I had a review that I had submitted at that point. So it was really cool because you'd have an idea of what day your video was coming out, because it was all on a schedule, what day and even what time of day. When I got accepted on the Dice Tower network and started doing reviews for them on their network, this was January of 17. So you're talking August of 2016 to January of 17. It's less than 6 months.
Where did you find the time to buy equipment in that short of time?
No equipment bought. I shot, edited, and uploaded everything from my iPhone.
And what iPhone were you using again?
At that time, it would have been a 4, 5, something like that. So
the one that's shooting me right now.
That one right there, absolutely. And in fact, all the videos, every single video that you see on my channel, the Chubby Meeple, and even the stuff that I did with the Dice Tower, all of that shot, edited, and uploaded from an iPhone.
I still like the idea of being able to use the device that's in your pocket.
That's fantastic.
To do what we need to do.
Yeah. And I realized that I took 2 turns in a row. So if you would like to take 2 turns.
Get out of here. All
right,
so what was your first one?
I discarded this and recruited that. And then my second one, I discarded that to recruit that.
Okay, well, I'm cool with that. So I'm going to bolster that. And then I'm going to bring that up like that.
Well, that's not cool.
Hey, man, you play your game, I play mine.
I know. Unfortunately. Move this bad boy. Boom. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I can't move that. I can only move with my tactic.
So that's right.
I have to discard my royal coin, which I obviously don't have. So we're going to do that face down and just recruit another ins. Let's do another footman.
So I got 1.
I have 2.
Oh, do you?
I do.
I did not mean for any of that to rhyme, by the way. Really.
It's good. It works.
You like it? You got another dad joke?
Do you know why you never see elephants hiding up in trees? Because they're so damn good at it. So stupid.
The best, dude. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna move it into that.
Oh, it's a damn shame.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that.
Yeah, you are.
Move 1 or 2 spaces and then attack all in a straight line. We're gonna move 1 space and attack. Oh man, that just hurt.
I'm going to do this.
Stab. Oh no! Whoa! let me get rid of that for you.
There it is.
Over into the tray because I lined that shot up for you perfectly. I am going to use this to activate the ensign tactic, and I'm going to move this dude there.
Indianapolis has a remarkable amount of publishers, designers.
Yeah.
Because we have Gen Con, because it's centrally located, because our airport is pretty awesome.
I think it's a combination of all those, honestly.
You can make good money and survive.
Gen Con is, well, and that's just it. You're designing games here in Indiana, you're doing content creation in Indiana. Yeah, everybody knows there's not a lot of money that gets made in that thing. You know, designers aren't retiring on yachts and Lamborghinis and all that. Content creators are doing it even less so.
Yes.
And that's all fine and dandy, but if you're in Indiana, your cost of living is about, a sixth of what it costs you to live out in California.
You started getting into working kind of contract and freelance work for other companies.
A little bit, yeah.
Did it help that you were doing Kickstarter previews and they were interested? Was it because some of them were here in Indianapolis?
I think more of it's Kickstarter previews than anything else. I really didn't start doing a whole lot with actually working with companies until the following Origins. I went to Origins as press with my Chubby Meeple channel and as a member of the Dice Tower. I actually did some work in the Dice Tower booth when I wasn't doing interviews with folks. And that year...
Now, were you doing interviews for Chubby Meeple and then you would work the booth for Dice Tower?
Yep. And really the interviews I did as Chubby Meeple, I decided to do, rather than setting up in the booth and doing an interview right there on camera, because I was so new to it, what I did instead was I did interviews off camera with people, took a bunch of notes, and then I would go back at night to the hotel I was staying in and sit in my room and shoot a Origins recap video for every day of the convention. I guess I need to play this piece here.
You do you.
That stuff's all in my way. So we'll do that. So I did interviews with my stuff. I was working the Dice Tower booth and helping them sell promos and things and meeting people from the Dice Tower. At this point, no one really knew who I was Dice Tower-wise. I mean, the Dice Tower guys super welcoming, got to play games with the guys in the booth after the exhibit hall closed and all that. But what was really cool, super surreal at the time, and still even today it blows my mind, so here, I mentioned being at Gen Con and being the awkward guy, walking up to Tom and Sam and Z and asking for selfies and everything. Well, here I am, Origins 2017, not even a year later. I'm working their booth, I'm hanging out with these guys, I'm playing games with them. Ended up helping out with the Dice Tower live show that they did at Origins that year.
Nice.
Helped with setup, ended up being in the show.
I was about to say, how did that work out?
It was pretty sweet.
Well, how did it happen?
Well, I was asked to help set up. Afterwards, it always happens right after the Origins Awards. So they do the Origin Awards, and then they clear out the room. The Dice Tower guys set up for the live show, and they just shoot the live show right there in the same room. So I helped set up. Like, cool, we'll help set up. Well, during setup, Tom realized that he needed a couple of bodies for the show itself, for their game show segment that they always do at these live shows. So he's like, "You want to be in the show?" And I'm like, "Sure,
let's
amazing, do it.
Dude.
That's pretty cool. So let's do it." So I ended up in their little Family Feud style game show that they do, which is a lot of fun.
Right?
They still do, yeah. And it's a lot of fun. You get there, you're trying to get the number 2 answer, because if you get the number 1 answer, the other team gets the point. It's a little bit of a flip on it, a little bit of a twist on it. So I ended up playing on Z's team for a round, and then went and helped keep some score for that. But after the show was over, so the live show's done, Tom's super thrilled with how well it went off, and he's like, "Hey, let's go down to the food court, get some food. We're gonna go up to the hotel and play some games." So we're less than a year removed from being the awkward kid asking for Tom's picture. I'm hanging out in his hotel room playing games with him, but yeah, it was just a weird, surreal transition. To less than a year removed, I went from awkward kid to contributor to friend of these guys, which is pretty cool. What is this? No. I'm losing. I feel like I'm being distracted by the
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
I'm going to discard this to move my royal guard.
Are you?
I am.
Okay, cool.
Blue. Sure, that worked beautifully. Another one of them there mercenaries, huh?
I mean, when you got it, you got it.
Right? When you got it, you flaunt it. That's why I don't flaunt anything. Oh! First player is mine.
Oh no! You took the coin.
I want the initiative, as they say.
That makes me not go first.
Hey, guess who's going first this time?
It's not this guy.
I'll move that guy right up there on that nice shiny gold control marker you got.
That's cool.
It is.
You worked for a time for Travis Chance. He decided to create Colossal.
Correct.
You got to help with that,
I did.
along with tons of other people.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Origins 2017, same year I did the Dice Tower booth, was doing media, was when Travis actually made the announcement that he was starting Colossal Games. He made that announcement at that show. I went with, hung out with him quite a bit at Origins actually. Played some prototypes. We played prototype of Kami-sama. So we played prototype of Kami-sama and some other stuff that he was looking into. Hung out quite a bit with him actually at Origins when I wasn't working Dice Tower, wasn't doing my own interview stuff. And we leave Origins, we part ways, which is really funny. This is the first time I'd ever played anything with Travis. It was in Columbus, Ohio at Origins 2017.
And yet,
even though at the time we lived like 8 minutes apart.
the original reason why I created this channel was because I got into the board game scene, and then I find out you, Mandy and Jordan, Mike DeLisio, Drinking Meeples, and I'm like, they're all in my backyard. And then at the same time that I'm doing this, I want to explore more and more of indie. And there's Moonshot, and there's Game Preserve, and there's Books and Brews, and there's Sun King, and I'm like...
And you still have indie boards and cards, and you can't forget, when you're talking content creators in the area, you can't forget Man vs. Meeple.
Right.
I mean, they're
Jeremy
practically
and
in my
David.
backyard. Jeremy lives really close to me.
Yeah.
And so it's there's a real hotbed of stuff here, and it was amazing. But you get back home, and it's a couple weeks afterwards. Travis throws this status up on Facebook that just says, "Hey, for those that don't know, I announced this new company that I'm doing. Here, you can take that back, because it's now mine." Oh, by the way, this one's mine too, because I get to perform a tactic with both of my men. So that's mine too. So anyway.
Oh!
Tables turned.
Mother!
So yeah, I replied to Travis's thing and was like, he said he said, hey, you guys saw that I announced this company. I'm looking to hire a marketing person and a social media person. And I just kind of half-jokingly replied to the status and said, oh, a social media manager, huh? With a question mark and kind of a little smirky smiley face. And got a message from him on Facebook. Said, if you're serious, we should talk. And so we chatted with him, and 2 weeks later, I was employed by Colossal Games. So as a social media community manager for them. And yeah.
What did you think of, because you've done the blogs, you've done video content, you've done it for yourself, you've done some Kickstarter previews, you've gotten some prototype copies, you've worked Dice Tower. What was it like then? Okay, now you're doing the social media and the video. Was it hard? Was it different for doing that for another company and for as they're trying to progress and create this game?
The only thing, I think the only major difference that I really found with it was in doing my own video stuff for my Chubby Meeple channel, and to some extent the Dice Tower, now obviously not so much, but definitely with my channel, I'm my own boss. I do what I want, I shoot what I want, I determine the quality.
Sure.
When you're working for another company, that's not so much the case. You've got someone there that's like, this isn't living up to someone else's standard. They never had that. There was never any negativity that said, oh, this sucks.
But
we're not doing this. You're awful.
You're going to get critiqued.
You're going to get critiqued, and you may have to go back and reshoot some stuff. And so it's interesting to have that aspect of kind of oversight, if you will. I'm going to play this, by the way. And I'm going to kill this mercenary with an attack.
That's cool.
Wait. I can also perform a maneuver with each footman on the board. So let's go ahead and take out one of your berserkers as well.
Okay.
Now, granted, he's going to die. I'm well aware of that because that's what you got in your hand. I'm guessing. But anyway, you're just perusing your card over there. Oh, hello. That's not cool.
I change it up on you.
That's not cool.
Hey, Marky.
But yeah, it's...
My turn?
It unfortunately, yes. Oh, slice. He dead. Goodbye, Mr. Footman. And you can... Whoa, hello.
Cool.
Not cool. I feel like what needs to happen here.
I feel like chicken tonight.
I am going to move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move the ensign, and I'm going to move him here.
So he's closer to other people to do other things?
Something like that.
That's funny. I'm going to bolster.
You're going to bolster, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that you chose to bolster instead of choosing to command and just take that from me.
Nah, I figured let's
Ensign. I'm going to let this thing
give it a
move.
little.
Well, Jared, first interview?
Yeah.
I get the honor being the first on Limelight.
Yeah.
I also get the honor being the first to let you lose your game on Limelight. That's what we call check and mate for those that are chess aficionados.
I'm out. Hey, Mark. Thank you. Where can everyone find you? Your videos?
I make it super easy. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's all at the Chubby Meeple, all one word. You also keep an eye out. I'll be throwing some review stuff back to the Dice Tower here very shortly. I may just do a random review of something old just for fun. Everyone's reviewing new hotness. I may just grab something old off the shelf and do a review of Seasons. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll review War Chest and talk about how great of a game it is because I can beat Jared Shaw at it.
You work here at Moonshot.
I do.
Can you tell me a little bit about Moonshot?
Moonshot. We are Noblesville, Indiana. We've been here about a year and a half. We opened January 2018. In October of last year, we opened our lounge location a block south of where you and I are currently sitting.
Which is what?
The lounge is our pizza place. It's also our Magic the Gathering shop and our Dungeons & Dragons shop.
Dude, that is awesome.
It is.
It's two and food.
It is. If we're here during hours, we can order pizza right here.
I'll be right back.
I just told him we're closed, and he can't do it right now.
Had to go grab these.
Oh, yeah, the menu. There you go. So this is our pizza. Moonshot Games, D8 pizza. D8 date pizza. And so you've got all these cool cards here. You got the Force of Nature and the Dumpster Fire and the Classic, which is just your pepperoni. Cheesy McCheese face, ricotta cream cheese with mozzarella, cheddar, provolone, Asiago, Parmesan, and Romano, a whole bunch of stuff. This is my favorite, the Mother of Dragons. The card here says choose your heat 1 to 5. We actually go 1 to 12. If you're really adventurous and you want to go for a 12, the hot sausage used on that is crazy. I'm not brave enough to try it. So there you go. Brave, crazy, one of the two. But yeah, we do pizza. We just recently added boneless wings to the menu. You get up from the table long enough to order it, you can go right back to gaming, and they'll bring food straight to your table while you're playing. That's one of the things that gets people to get up and leave the table is they got to go eat.
Right.
Well, now we're bringing food to you, so you don't have to go eat. You can eat right here while you continue to play. The focus of this place is get the community in. Come in here, play games. We've got a huge kid and family demo library. People can grab stuff off the shelf, play games with their kids. Get the family here, collect, around a table, chatting like you and I are right now. They're not in front of their computers and phones and tablets and TVs and
this was an old art
It was an art gallery.
gallery.
Yeah.
And so like these beautiful pictures with the beautiful lights that we have above us.
Yeah.
And
you come into the store and you've got, the track lighting that was in here that was shining on the walls for the art exhibits themselves. That track lighting's all still here, and so it's illuminating shelves of games now.
thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do a lot more with other designers, other publishers, other folks that are in this industry, and to show off more places and things and cool things. I said it twice. It's fine. Around Indianapolis and other cities in the future. So stay tuned, and let's keep limelighting.
Boom. Well done, buddy.